Expedition 33 has been a huge surprise hit that came from the French game development scene, so I thought it'd be fun to take a look at some other French RPGs, one that is coming in the future and one that you can play right now. They're both pretty different than Expedition 33, but for anyone that's a fan of JRPGs, these are worth checking out. The first game is by the same developers that made Edge of Eternity, which is a game that was a bit rough around the edges, definitely showed promise, and now that they've got more experience, they're creating a new game called Edge of Memories. One of their strengths has been the worlds that they create, and in their new game it looks like there's a lot to explore, and you can explore it both on your own 2 feet and on the back of an animal called a Nekaru. Exploration is something that they're specifically highlighting, and they've mentioned that there will be changes to the world as the story progresses. So there's some sort of ongoing plague called the corrosion, and as you play, that will affect even the places that you've already been. One big thing that's exciting is the people that are helping them to make the game. Yasunori Mitsuda, the composer of Chrono Trigger, a character designer who worked on Xenoblade Chronicles, and Raita Kazama, a combat designer who worked on Final Fantasy XV. They've pulled together an interesting team of both Japanese JRPG veterans and their own crew, and it's definitely possible that they're coming up with something special. The combat is real-time action combat, so expect it to be quick-paced. You'll have companions as well that you can give various commands to, and that you can do combos with. There are, of course, big bosses to fight that have been affected by this corrosion, the plague that they've talked about. I was pretty impressed by the trailer. Of course, we'll have to see exactly how well it plays whenever it comes out. That'll be the real test, but so far, it looks like it's going to be, at the very least, worth keeping an eye on. They've already announced the game will be coming out sometime in 2026. There doesn't seem to be a specific date. It'll be coming to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Terra Memoria is a retro JRPG-inspired game by French developers who loved the games of the PS1 era. Specifically, they've cited Breath of Fire 3 as one of the inspirations for the game, and it definitely has a few things that are similar to Breath of Fire. For one, the main character is able to change into different forms. There's a town building section midway through the game, a feature I've always really loved. I like it when they do that sort of thing. And they've mentioned it's a bit Dark Cloud-esque, which is a big plus for me. The general consensus on this one is that it's a nice and somewhat light RPG that will take you on a bit of a nostalgia trip. And that's something I feel like I need every once in a while, you know, a palate cleanser sort of thing. It's classic turn-based combat with 3 active characters and 3 support characters. The support characters can be used to change the abilities of the characters that they're supporting in different ways. One example of that is changing a single target ability to hit multiple targets. It also isn't an overly long game, seeming to clock in at around 15 to 20 hours, so I think it'd be a good one to play between your giant 100-hour open-world sagas. This one seemed to fly a bit under the radar, but I think it's definitely worth checking out for any fans of the PS1 era of JRPGs. You can get Terra Memoria on all modern consoles and on PC, and it's out right now. So, there you go. A couple French RPGs that were inspired by JRPGs for anyone that hasn't already checked out Expedition 33. I would obviously also recommend that you go play that. By the time you're seeing this video, it's even possible that it's already won Game of the Year at the Game Awards 2025. So, needless to say, it's definitely a game that you should go play. It's just very beautiful. It has an amazing soundtrack. It's well worth your time. It's great seeing developers from different places that are around the world succeed, you know? And the teams that worked on the games that I talked about today are relatively small compared to something like France's own Ubisoft. Considering how that company is doing right now, it's very possible that we'll be seeing a lot more smaller French teams try their hand at creating all different kinds of games, big and small. So keep an eye on that. For more recommendations of RPGs of all different kinds, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.